Boom. We are
Booyah.
live. So, quick story. I was on the beach yesterday talking to a couple who had just flown in from Kelowna, BC.
Oh,
And yeah, and they were like, took the red eye and all, and they were trying to figure out what time it was back home. And I said, I know exactly what time it is because I just booked a live stream with a lady from Prince George, which was you, Adele.
yes.
Crystal. I keep
Yeah.
calling her Adele.
That's okay.
Can you sing like Adele?
No.
I can, but we won't go there.
Thank
So
you.
we had Crystal on in November
I would go
20th.
back.
November 27th. I'm going to put the link to the replay on that into the comment section so that anybody who has not watched it, I urge you to go watch it. And I mean, there's several reasons why I really enjoyed having you on the first time, Crystal, and why I want to have you back. So I'll get to that in a second, but I'll talk firstly about why I enjoyed having you on in the first place. First of all, you've been a photographer for a bunch of years, and then you got into the fairy stuff, and you really went at it full bore. You did, in my opinion, you did everything right. I love those stories. To me, those stories, like you're in a small city, northern BC, little community, and you're totally crushing it. It appears.
Oh, yeah.
So that's all working. To me, I love those stories. I actually like those stories in many, many ways, far more than the Peter Hurleys and the Sal Sincatas and all the other big name gurus, because in many ways it's far more relatable. So we can learn from you. So I appreciate you being here. It's really exciting to have you back. I knew when we had you on the first time, I said, we got to get her back in a few months.
Aw,
And
awesome.
here
Yeah,
we
I love
are
it. It's
a
so
few
much
months
fun.
later.
Anytime.
So before you start into anything you have that you want to say, I just want to point something out, and I'm going to show my screen. I'm going to show your... Hold on, let me do that first. I'm going... Tina, give me 1 sec. My wife's here. I got to go unlock the door.
Hi, Tina.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
I see. Yes, we do.
Oh,
I can't hear any of you.
Probably did something to himself. He can't hear us. He can just hear himself.
yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear
We
you.
can hear you.
All right. Hold on. I got to go get my wife. She's at the door waiting for me to unlock the door. If I don't lock the door, the wind will slam it constantly. Can you see it now?
Yep.
All right. Okay. So give us a quick update, would you? And I'll be right back.
A quick update. Okay, so I have one spot left on the March 12th Fairy Day, and that's only because I had one lady who didn't, what do you call it? Like pay her fee or whatever.
Yeah,
so
didn't do the
I've got one
deposit.
spot. Yeah, so that one spot has just opened up on that day, and then I'm already booking into April 9th, and I've got 3 people booked as of this morning for that day.
Wow.
Mhm.
So it's working
really
out.
well. Yeah, it's going really well. They're booking up super fast. Again, I filled that one in one day. I just did a quick little promotion because I wanted to kind of see, because I want to start donating to a cause within our city for like $50 off each session fee or whatever. So I did a promotion. I was like, okay, so everybody who books this day will get $50 off using this code. So it worked out, and I think I'm going to continue to do it that way until I get that day full.
Yeah. So your first official Fairy Day was back in November?
It was November, yeah.
Yeah, that's not that long ago. How many have you had? How many have you had since then?
So I had 15 November, and then I had December. I had 6. It wasn't very. Or no, sorry, 8. And then January I had 16.
Wow.
And then February I had 7, and then I've got 11 booked for March and 3 for April so far. So
sounds to me like you're going monthly with this.
I am going monthly. I'm doing it monthly because I want to nail down my systems for this, whether I peter off and do it, afterwards, that's fine. I'm just listening to the market. The market is hungry for it. So I'm just going to continue to do it monthly until I'm not booking as easily. If it becomes too much to book that 1 month, then it's not working, right? So yeah, I'm doing it monthly. I love it.
Awesome. Hit it when it's hot.
Mhm.
Have you considered, if that's the case, you kind of, what you're saying is you're going to saturate the market.
Mhm.
Have, and the beautiful thing about these images, it's child portraiture
Mhm.
redefined. I've often said that.
Yeah.
The same way pop-up weddings or wedding photography redefined. It's evolved.
Yeah.
So have you considered, because there's a way to scale it up, and that's by taking it to other towns and cities
Yes.
100 or so miles from you. Is that something that's crossed your mind?
Yeah,
Because
I've already got people traveling from surrounding towns coming to see me. So the last 2 fairy days, I've had people from a town just north of us and then a town west of us. So they're coming to me right now, but eventually I do want to travel. Like once my husband isn't working so much, then he'll
Mhm,
be able to come and help me. But right now he's working full time, and
mhm.
yeah, so
And you need him to help you with that. So you want
for
to do
sure, for
the
sure.
mom and pop thing. So
Mhm. But
that's what
I'm
my
reaching such a huge market. Like I'm not just photographing little girls. I'm photographing families. I'm photographing mother and daughter, older and younger. Like I just photographed a 13-year-old with her 40
Mhm.
something year old mother, and then I did a brand new mama with a brand new baby, and like I'm literally hitting every market I feel here.
Yeah, yeah. But when you say that, you're tying that into the fairy themed
Very
portraits,
themed. Yes.
not general families and whatnot,
Right.
but keeping it within. And I've noticed that too in my evolution, having been doing them like 18 years now. And all of a sudden, it was like we get 3 generations, 2 generations, and babies
Yeah.
and older girls.
Yeah.
I had two 21-year-old girls come in. They were
Me too.
cousins, but they had one done somewhere else years ago. It was sort of like a fairy, but wasn't nearly as good as mine. And they wanted to reproduce the look. So
Right.
so the point is that and you're obviously a testament to this. And tell me a little bit more of what your thoughts, feelings, and or observations are on this. Is that it's not just a fairy shoot. It's more. It's expanding out to many different sort of sub niches.
Yes. Yes. There's okay, so a lot. What do you mean? Please elaborate.
Well, when we started, it was 3 to 9 year olds.
Yeah.
Now it's any age,
Oh, yeah,
unless
definitely. We
and
have a
and
grandma
older
coming
girls.
in. Yeah, I have a grandma coming with her grandbabies because
Yep.
she always calls them her little fairies. Like, there's so many people here who believe in fairy magic and just want that. I think it's more of like a beautiful, positive thing right now. I think the
Uh-huh.
timing is super huge for reaching as many people as I am, is because people need it. They need something that's beautiful and magical and just takes them away from the everyday. And there is no experience in Prince George right now that matches this
Right.
one as far as portraiture. So
Right.
that's like fancy portraiture like that, like fun and enchanted. So
Yeah.
that's exciting. It's just different. And I've actually had my clients, they tell me all the time, like, I've reached a market that I never thought that I would reach because I come from poverty and stuff like that. So I was like, I don't know these people with money. I don't know how to get
Mhm.
there. So it just takes one person. It took one person in that market and she told 5 of her friends, and now they're telling 5 of their friends each. So that's like, it's just like boom, boom, boom. Everybody's being referred. It's not even the work I'm doing online anymore. And I
Mhm.
didn't think that would happen so quickly, but
No
it's
way.
becoming just referrals, like, oh, so and so told me, I seen her pictures and I just had to book you. So there's a huge reach. So for every one of those people who are photographing or coming and getting their portraits done, like the mother with the new baby, she's telling all of her new mommy friends, so there's more of those people. And then the grandmas, as soon as more grandmas appear, there's going to be more of those. Like, it's fun, it's awesome, it's exciting.
Yeah. That's
Good.
amazing. Well, it sounds like you're hitting on all pistons here, and it's really working out, and you're taking advantage of it and running with it and having a good time
Hmm.
as well. Hey, John, remember when I went to Ottawa? We had a bunch of sessions. It was grandma and granddaughter, right?
We
Remember
did.
those were
We had
becoming
grandma and
a thing.
granddaughters, but we also had ones that were, if you remember, she was in her 30s or 40s, and she came with her own little crystal ball type thing, and
Yeah,
we
they
had a
love
lot of
it.
fun with it.
So, Crystal, I love the way you describe it. You said beautiful, positive, and enchanted. So
Yeah.
but you did say for now, which I'm like, oh no, it's not for now. I think this is always going to be a thing, and it's quite possible. This is tell me what you think. Sometimes I'm a little apprehensive in the background. I think, okay, what if this becomes uh, corny at some point in time. People don't want it anymore, or everybody's doing it and it's just become flooded and boring. So I think that way so that I can think, all right, how can I constantly stay on top of my game here and always stay relevant? So I noticed one thing you've done is you raised your prices, and that's a very practical
Oh,
thing.
you noticed that, hey?
I noticed that months ago.
Awesome.
Tell us about that. And I'm like, holy geez, the student is passing the teacher here.
So for my fairy album, actually, I was like sad when I made it, the first one that was ordered, because it was so much work for $600 or whatever. And I was like, no, this doesn't jive with me. So I calculated it out, and yeah, I want them to get a better deal if they're getting more images. I still have to process those images, right? So I was like, okay, I need to make $95 if they just only want one image. I need to make that. So I do that for like a new pose. And then with the album and the deluxe little fine art box or whatever, my logic was theirs is about $65 per image if they do it that way. So it's not so much of a dip where I don't feel like my work is valued.
True. That's a good way to take it. Like, what am I worth? Start with that minimum and then build it up from there. Yeah. So obviously you're very hopeful for the future as far as running these specials. And have you noticed an uptick also because of these, that people come in and we want to come in later on for a family portrait, or my older sister's getting married next summer, blah blah. I don't even know if you do weddings, but have you noticed?
I hate weddings. I did 4 of them and I will never do them again, despite everybody's advice. Oh, I'm not doing Alex's wedding. They actually know I convinced them to hire a local wedding photographer. Yeah, no, not doing weddings. I actually have an incredible deluxe baby plan that I do, and it's my clients come in every single month. Because of you and the fairies, I've actually totally shifted that system, and now I have a playtime mommy group that I'm starting for these clients as well, because it's
nice.
But they come in and they pay $195 every month, and then they get like 8 units with their thing, and then at the end of the year they get, if they do every single session, they get $500 to use towards their session. So that has been altered in a way that makes more sense to me, and it's same with now. I'm giving them proofs and I'm making them choose their images rather than me just edit the whole like 40 or 50 that I do. So now they get 8 and it works, and nobody's complained. They love it because they're getting prints at the same time. So
what did you call that again?
Deluxe baby plan.
So that's like the baby's first year sort of thing.
Yes, it is exactly the baby's first year. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I started that a few years ago, and that was literally the one thing that kept my business going, because then I would photograph their families, and then we would do like odd sessions for them throughout the year. So now that I'm doing the fairies, and I want to keep doing them always and forever because they're so amazing, and I just love them. So I want to make room, and I want to be able to serve those clients and my baby planners super well. So I'm only doing first year planners and fairies for this year to see how it goes.
Okay, only that you're just focusing in on that, and
and then of course I'll do sessions for people who are currently a client. So if they're in a baby plan or they've had a session with me, like for the fairies, then absolutely I'll serve them, for whatever session they have, and that'll kind of hopefully drive people to keep coming back every year. So I can do like a day of families or a weekend of families and serve all of them.
Yeah. Your studio's in your house, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
If you can't
so, and I hear a little angel making noise in the background. There's a little baby there. That's your granddaughter?
Yeah, right there. She's 6 months old tomorrow, so she's
future fairy for the portraits.
Yeah, she's been a fairy. She was my very first fairy that I absolutely cringe at that photo now. I was so proud to put it out there, and I booked so many fairies off that photo, but my goodness, what was I thinking? Oh, I was just starting out, right? Start somewhere. I got the backdrop in. I didn't have the wings yet because I was still clueless. And I was like, well, I got the backdrop. I'm just going to throw her on a wood burl I have and some dollar store wings. And then I put her on it again a month ago, and super beautiful. I put her in a bumbo seat so she could sit on the mushroom. Oh, it's beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And to me, that's indicative of something I've always said this about myself: ready, shoot, aim. Stop trying to get things perfect. Just go.
Jump.
Yeah.
The plane
I mean, no matter what, cringeworthy. I look at it and go, well, that's fun. That was where I was at that time in my life. Saying that's essentially what you're saying, right?
I'm proud of it, but I'm just like, ooh, should I show it? And I'm like, it shows progress. I have to keep it up.
It shows progress.
Yeah.
That's the key. So fascinating. So it's really working out. Your husband works full time. You have a studio in your house. You get to set the pace that you want to set according to the type of business and the lifestyle that you want.
I wanted to be present for my children. So this is initially why I started my business 10 years ago, is I wanted to be involved in my children. I wanted to be there. I didn't want to miss a thing. Teen years were going to be hard. I knew that. I was going into them and I knew it was going to be a struggle and they needed me. So I needed to be working at home. I knew that. So I found, I've always loved photography, but I could never like paint, and I loved art. So I found a way to use art. I just learned about everything. I YouTubed all the videos to learn what everything meant, like ISO and aperture and the heck is this f-stop, all that stuff. Like I learned it all, taught myself all of it. And then so I could be home, and I started, I was working for Northern Health Authority here, and they were my first clients. They were the ones, they were paying me $75 and I'd give them all the digital files when I first started. Like everybody, don't know until you know. And they kept referring people. So it worked out beautifully, being able to stay home with my children. And now with her, I'm helping my daughter so she can go back to work, because she likes to work. That's more her nature. So now I get to be home and take care of her as well. So
that's amazing.
It's a blessing. This business is a blessing.
Yeah. That's one of the good things about being self-employed is when you start succeeding, especially, you have options and you have the ability to be there for your kids if that's important. And I know what you mean. It was so important for us when our daughter was born. My wife and I worked together, so we had the ability to. I'm going home, or I'm going to the school to have lunch. We used to do that, have lunch with the kids at school. We do it all the time.
That's awesome.
All our friends would know us. I was like the cool dad, and they knew us. So it's just, to me, it's such a valuable contribution to the life of a child. So, and we were able to do that. So I kind of get what you're saying. I want to show the screen, and I want to show some of your images.
Okay.
Who's this?
Oh, sorry.
This is just another client. Her baby's 1 year old. She actually, I tell my clients who want to book a baby under 3, I say, okay, you need to book the session for yourself, and then we can get some images with your child and you. And then that way there's no, like, I'm going to get a whole bunch of images of just my child, because I can't promise that. Especially I didn't quite know what was going on. So that was just a mama who came in, one of the referrals of the referrals of the referrals. And isn't she stunning? Yeah.
So you got the wings on the little one. That's amazing.
I just slip them inside the dresses. That's it.
Yeah. And you have 2 sets of wings?
I have 3, almost 4.
You're building more.
I have a grandma coming with 3 fairies.
Nice. So I remember the first time we interviewed you, you talked about how challenging it was. You took the templates that I have in my system, and you use those for all 4 wings?
Yes, definitely. And I'm going to actually make now that I understand how it works, I'm going to make my own wings template for the ice fairies, because I noticed that they're different. And I want them more soft. If that makes sense. Yeah.
We have ice wing fairy.
I know, I watched the video and seen that, and I'm like, dang it, I have to make more wings.
Yeah, we bought those, though, from another photographer who's getting
I'm too cheap. If I can make it, I'm going to find a way to make it.
Well, something to be said about that. And you're doing a good job. So I got to ask you about that for a second here. Okay. Did you find that, because I know you really sounded very frustrated the first time you talked about doing the wings, and it was very challenging.
Yes.
Is it getting easier?
Oh gosh, I don't even need anything now. It's just
really.
Boom. Yep, I can figure things out. In 3 times, I'll get it. If I don't get it in 3 times, it's time to walk away. I've only had to stop ever trying to knit. That is my nemesis.
So the wings that we are modeled, like I bought the template rights from the lady who manufactured them. She's down in Arkansas. And but when I bought them, I paid full pop, and they were like $300 a pair, US
Whoa.
dollars. They're not cheap, but they're really, really, really well made, and I can't tell the difference from mine and from yours. So,
Oh wow. Same
and
template.
yeah, and so kudos to you. So the difference, and I went through this, and I'm sure you did too. The difference between the store-bought costume wings and these.
Mm-hmm.
Can you
So
tell me about that?
I'm literally just making go to the thrift store, buy a dress, adjust it however I need to, make it so it'll fit anybody. Like a couple dresses, I've got ties in the back. So if the
Mhm.
mom is bigger chested, it's okay. We can make it work. And the wings, I just make sure that it's got some tightness, or I just tuck it into the bra straps. For littles, I'll get mom to hold the wings on. Like she'll hold her daughter and the wings at the same time to hold
Nice.
it into the dress. This, I just add all the flowers. I make my own crowns. Yeah, this was actually a costume that had lights in it. And I took out the lights because it looked funny, that layer. And then I just added some flowers to it, took off some sequins that made it too flashy. And
Mhm.
yeah,
Beautiful. So it's not that hard to do, is it? And
no,
I
no.
I want you to, what's your take on the idea? This is something I've noticed because I've helped many, many photographers try and get set up doing fairies.
Mhm.
Some of them go out and get dresses, or they buy them off eBay, or they go to a costume store. And I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. The dress is all wrong. They're
Yeah.
either way too colorful, way too bright, or the design is just not suitable. It's like something a little girl would wear, say, if she was attending as a guest with her family, say at a wedding or something. So it's too formal. Any
Yes.
thoughts on that as to help?
I think for older girls, they want to use their prom dresses. So that is going to be a thing coming up here with prom happening. We're
Right.
going to prom fairies, and all the girls want to use their prom dresses. My daughter's
Prom fairies.
included.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like it's going to look too formal and not quite the magicalness as I'm
Right.
going for. But if they want it, they can do it, right? I mean, they got to
Yep.
use the dress more than once.
Why too formal? Why do you say that? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. Especially the big poofy ones. I mean, it could be cute, but honestly, I'm annoyed because they knock over my trees. Rip the plants off the set. They're just a big old frustration unless I can figure out something. I'll have to see when I get there. I haven't really done much of the prom dresses yet.
yeah, but I know what you're saying, and I 100% agree with you. It's been my experience as well, and
Yeah.
I'm bringing this up as part of this conversation because it's the kind of thing that you discover as you, well, if you want to be open to the idea of discovering it and you figure these things out. There's a certain style of dress, and there are certain attributes in that style especially for the little girls. Like this is one of them. There seems to be a certain style of dress that is really, really suitable, and others just don't seem to work out. And your example of a prom, like if you had a prom style dress on a 7-year-old, say for example, and that's kind of what I was talking about.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't fit. That would not fit. Yeah.
It's awkward. It doesn't look right. So fairies seem.
Cute.
Pardon me?
Need cute, like little fairy dresses. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to describe specifics. I mean,
Yeah. Flowery and textures and layers and that's kind of what I
and
look for.
I think bare arms and bare shoulders ish is key too.
Totally.
And not too long because you want the feet to pop out. So
Yeah, that's definitely go for it. Oh, behind the scenes. That's my grandbaby in a bumbo seat. I was getting her set up.
That's cool that you can do that at that age. I mean, way to go with a full-on set of wings.
Right.
I like that backdrop. Looks familiar.
It's so perfect. I love it so much.
I'm still using mine. Yeah. What's
I
this?
have my helpers. So this is actually a prom dress for my daughter's friend. She purchased a voucher. She wanted to pay full price and everything. So I'm like, okay. So she bought a fairy session for her for last fairy day. And this is just behind the scenes of my helper helping her get ready.
This to me is a prom dress that might work as an older girl's fairy dress.
Yes.
I
That one
look at
works. I want
yeah.
that dress. It's not
So
mine.
she gonna sell it to you later?
I'm waiting. I put the feelers out there. I want to
Okay.
see how attached she was. She got it for free, so she might.
Uh, yeah. This is how we got a lot of dresses.
I got a
And
wedding dress here, actually. If you go through the images, there's a mother and a daughter, older mother and daughter. And that
okay.
is my friend's wedding dress. She donated it for 2 5x7s.
Nice. There you go. And my point, and I'll show that in a minute, but I want to sit on this dress for a minute and point out that this is what happens. We have well over 50 dresses now,
Wow.
predominantly 5, 7-year-old in that range. First two we had made. We paid a lot of money for a seamstress, but worth every. We're still using them. These are like over 15 years old. They come apart. We got to fix them. But then you start collecting dresses, and then other photographers call you and say, yeah, I'm getting out of this. Do you want to buy my dresses? And you find them on eBay. You find them on Amazon. You find them at, sometimes they're really, really cute at the Halloween stores, the costume stores.
Yeah, so I have a friend. She went down to the Value Village or whatever about a month ago, and she texted me up. She's like, "You have to get down here. There's so many fairy dresses." I was like, "How is there fairy dresses?" So I was like, "Okay." So I went down to the Value Village. I'm like, told my husband, "We got to go. There's fairy dresses at Value Village." So we went, and that's actually where I got that purple dress that I put my grandbaby in, and it's actually really, really long. Like I think you could see it with that new mama and that dress too. And so I was like, got that. I got 4 of them that day that were just. Wow. I was like, these are insane.
Your backdrop's a 10 by 10, same one I use.
Yeah, 10 by 20. I got the bottom half stretched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I see a seam right here, no?
No, that's just a line that I'm trying to hide the plastic tree holders.
Oh,
So
I
it's really
see.
just some
All
weak
right.
lines.
It's an optical illusion. So this is a 10 by 20 stretched on the bottom.
Yeah.
I want to point this out, and this is not plastic, nor is it muslin. This is that sort of like
it's like
almost
Feels like cotton.
wrinkle-free fabric.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
wrinkles. I just bought backdrop clips up actually.
it's a good price.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you buy it? Same place I got mine, right?
Yes, I backdrop. I actually, because you said one of your videos, you said that you had to, if you're going to get this, you got to get them to stretch the bottom. So I did. I took a picture of the backdrop on their site, and then I just put the dimensions in where I wanted it stretched. I'm like, okay, I need this 10 feet to stay perfect like this, and then the bottom 10 feet can be whatever.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way. When I first bought one, the seam was right here.
Oh, yes, I didn't want to do that. I didn't have money for that. I was like, I can only buy it once. It has to be right.
Well, you got to be frugal and careful with your money, and this is you seem to be doing it and making it work.
It works.
But that's what happened to me, and I was like, oh crap! So now I have this backdrop which I'll never use.
Oh no.
Anyway, so that's cool. Let's get out of there and go to. Oh, there she is. So there's that scene there. It looks pretty good. I thought she was sitting up, but she's in that bumble seat.
Yeah. Yeah, she can't
work.
sit yet. She's too little.
Yeah. 6 months old here, right?
She's 5 months there.
Okay. I'm going to get to. I got to find it here. I'm just going to stop sharing. I'm going to find the other image you were talking about.
Oh, yes. It's so funny. I can remember every single fairy's name just by the time I'm delivering their art to them. I just know them.
Really?
I've never not known my clients, like not all the time. Some of them, yeah, but every single name when they come back to get their orders, or if I see them, I'm like, oh, it's fairy so-and-so. And I'm like, this is so cool.
It's pretty good that you can remember their names.
I hope I can remember them all forever. That would be great.
Yeah, it's amazing. I have a hard time with that, but
I wish I could do that with my hockey pitchers and remember all 400 kids.
Oh boy, but those are so quick. Like this experience, there's like 12 touch points. So
have you noticed, since you've been doing this a bunch of months now and you've done a whole pile of sessions, the amount of time it takes, the amount of experience, the quality of experience that the little girls and the parents and grandparents have while they're coming through and having this done, and how, like, what's that been like for you?
It's amazing. It's been really neat to actually see, like, they walk in, they don't expect what they're walking into. So I've
No,
got
eh?
at all. Like, I live in just a basic rectangle house, 2-story house,
Mhm.
on a corner of a busy street in a little community up in Prince George, across from a pub. I must add, we live across
Nice.
from a pub.
Yep.
Don't go there. So, but when they come in, they're like, and especially then they're like going down into the basement, and it's like, oh my gosh, what is this? And then the door opens, and all of a sudden there's lights and trees and music and cinnamon bark diffusing in the diffuser,
Got
like
it all going.
everything. And they just love it. So they come in, we pick out the best dress for them. I guide them to what dress I want them to wear.
Mhm.
I get their dress size in the questionnaire before they come in. So I kind of have 2 dresses out and they can choose one or the other. It's just
Mhm.
easier that way. Then I go into the forest, close the curtain. And then when they're dressed and ready, they come on in. We stand them in front of the mirror. We put the floral crown on, we put their wings on, and then we guide them into the set and we get going from there. And the mom has a beautiful couch that she sits on, super cozy. I have
Uh-huh.
tissue there because the mom cries quite often. And sometimes like, oh my gosh, and I'm always seeing the moms like, snotting on their sleeve, and I'm like, there's tissue. So that's fun. The little girls, like, it's so quick. This is one thing that I actually am super proud of, and I don't really know how to talk about it more. Like, I want to bring more awareness and be like, this is good for kids even with mental issues like
Mhm.
ADHD or autism. We had an autistic kid in here, and just, it's so quick. The experience is so guided and so quick, and it's just fun. They're just, by the time they know what's happening, we're already done. And then I'm like, oh, I think I heard the fairy out there. Did you hear that? Once you get your shoes and your jacket and your outside clothes on and you're ready to go, you just let me know and we'll check the treasure chest. And they're done. They're out.
Nice.
So they love it. And the moms are like, thank you, because meltdowns, right? When something's over that they don't want to be over, there's a meltdown. Well, I've never had one kid have a meltdown yet. Started, and then I said the treasure box thing, and they were like, okay, we're good. Let's go.
Man,
Yeah,
everything
and then
that
they come back too. So I just actually added this the last time, and I'm keeping it. It's a order pickup appointment. So they get to actually come in. All of their images are displayed. I have it all set up again with the music, the trees, and the fun stuff, and
really,
to see their images, and we talk about their experience, and it's really, really cool. So that was neat. Then I
yeah,
wrap it up like a boutique right in front of them.
that's amazing. Everything you're doing is exactly how we're doing ours, so I can
Perfect.
relate. And when they come in, it's so important. I don't know about you, but it looks like you do. Like, I turn down like the actual lights, and I
Yes,
want,
I
I
turn it
want
right
it.
off.
I want mood lighting,
Hmm.
and I have those Christmas lights, so there's sparkles everywhere.
I haven't been able to
And
find any yet. So
Canadian Tire,
I
Lowe's at Christmas time,
Yes, I missed them by the time they went on sale.
or Amazon. I mean, $30 will get you one. But anyways, it's all leading to the experience, and that's the
Yeah.
key thing.
I
Is that
have lots of lights like that, like you can see in the background there. I have lots of stuff like that, like the one flickers, like it looks like a candle. So I have tons of
Mhm.
stuff like that going too. And my speakers with the music, they show the lights, and it's really neat.
So you said something that I believe you said that anyways, that it's pretty quick. The session is actually pretty quick.
Yeah, like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Kids seem to have an expiry date, and when
Hmm.
you put them through the whole experience, it seems to be enough for them.
Yeah.
Topped off by the treasure chest. Are you doing the little fairy house that we started doing a couple years ago?
Yes, I am. I have a fairy house there, and that's where the treasure chest is. So
Okay.
just outside that. So I got twinkly
Mhm.
lights in there, and I've actually had little girls stare at that fairy house while I'm talking to the parents, because while they're doing their treasure, but with my
Yeah.
helper, I'm helping the mom, for the next step. Like, okay, I'm going to send you an email when your proofs are ready, and you
Mhm.
come in and do that. So yeah,
Mhm.
works out great. The experience is fun. The parents, they always have a hard time. They think they're going to have a hard time picking out their images, but I know what they're going to go for. So I kind of guide them to professionally which ones are the best for printing. And then, if I ask them
Yep.
how are you going to be displaying it, and then I kind of help them that way. And I can show them what it looks like on their walls because I use Pro Select. So they love the experience. They love that they can, see the cart being like everything added to the cart at once. It's like a whole experience for everyone. Yep.
Nice. I'm going to show the screen. I'm going to go find that other image you were talking about a minute ago. Just go get this clickety boo, boom, boom. So here we got your Facebook page.
I'm not so active on there as I am on Instagram.
Really?
And not even my business. I'm so horrible at that. I should be more active on my business pages, but I've kind of just like mushed everything onto my personal page because it's just easier.
Okay. It's a bit of a pain. I get it. And
It is. I'm like, I got to post to 5 different places every time.
that image you're talking about, the white dress.
Is it on Facebook? No.
Might
I don't.
be on-
You know what? She hasn't paid in full yet till Saturday, so it might not actually even be up. What if you go to my website? And then on my website, I just put her image in my fairy pricing guide. So like the second. So if you go to, just keep going. We want to
Down?
link to the price guide and information right there. So that pink link above the images, kind of go up.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at everything.
Up there. Next one. Yeah, right there.
I'm booking a session. I want
we
to
don't
be
wanna
a fairy.
So we want to click. Oh, you're booking a session right now?
No.
Oh, I mean, you could just see what happens if you wanted to show. It's a pretty cool system. Like they get emails automated, all sent out. It's nice because I just wake up to emails. Okay, you got it. Yeah. So
Let's go there in a minute.
Nope. Next page, maybe. Where did I put it?
It's got to be there somewhere. So you have this guide, this series of, obviously, it's a whole sort of like one-page thing. Is this also printed out?
Yes, I have it printed out in my studio for them to look at. I give them the link directly to this. I'll give them the fairy specials like you do, and I'll give them a link to my full price menu, which is this same link that they've already gotten 3 times. But I just want them to be fully aware of my pricing.
Yeah. Geez, everything we're doing, you're doing, I'm doing, you're doing, we're doing exactly.
I've copied your stuff very well. It's a system that I know works.
Yeah.
I've watched you for 10 years. It works.
And that's good. That's awesome. I mean, that's the way to do it, and
she's copying you on the style. You got to copy her on the pricing now.
yeah. Well, we're like I said, I mean, I was like, it's happening.
Well, my package pricing is actually going to be increasing again, just because the lab increased by like $15 for an 11 by 14 plaque. So like,
inflation.
I'm going to figure out the numbers and see where I'm sitting at, but I want to be sitting at between 10 to 15% cost of goods.
This is from Album Polka?
Yes.
As well as your albums?
I love Album Polka.
Oh, they're my favorite.
I
wouldn't try anywhere else.
And you can't have a better customer service rep than Abbas, that's for sure.
He's amazing. He's so amazing.
So what am I looking for?
I'm not sure. I can't find the picture. It's not there.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah,
no worries.
It's not there. I must not have posted it yet because, like I said, she's coming for her order pickup on Saturday, and that's because she hasn't paid yet. I don't give their social media files until.
Yeah, makes sense. So you're using the online booking system. We're doing it like by phone or email, so we're kind of old school that way.
I do it that way too. If people want to call me and book it that way, I will just pull up this link and get their information while they're on the phone.
Okay, so you're using this all the time, whether you're entering it or they're doing it on their own. So
I direct everyone to here to book, whether it's through me or so. I've had a few people, like especially grandmas, when they book, they're like, "I don't know anything about the internet. Can you please help me, dearie?" Yes, I can help you. So I'll like talk to them on the phone, and then I'll just kind of do it all that way. And then for emails, I'll send them to myself, and then just kind of work with them and do that all over the phone. But ideally, online booking is the way to go because I love waking up to 3 emails or 6 of so-and-so booked a session, so-and-so signed a contract, so-and-so paid your deposit or paid their deposit. And that's always lovely to wake up to.
Does it show when they go to book the options available on the dates?
Yes. So you can go ahead if you want to click on the booking link and you can, without adding any information, you can actually.
Let me do that then.
Yeah. So go on Fairies.
Let me do that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm just looking here. There's one booking option, and you raise your prices.
Yes.
When we started at $37, then we went to 67 and then 97, and we're at 97 still. So
I don't know if I want to go up anymore. Like,
no.
because it's just a nice entry fee that everybody's willing to pay. And I'm okay if they just get their 8x10 and don't order anything else, honestly. I'm not, but for them, I absolutely am. Like, as long as they're getting that one image, I'm happy. So if you scroll to the bottom where you can choose the day, so just click on the drop arrow, select a day.
There's no drop arrow.
Above
Okay, right
you.
here.
Yeah,
Sorry.
right there.
So you're using cloudforms.co?
Yes. Studio Cloud is what it is.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Time slot selected. Nice.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
It's pretty awesome. And then, yeah, April 9th, that should show a few more slots. But I also, actually, can you click on select a time for that day? I just want to see. Okay, yeah. So I have it set up so it shows only 2 spots available. Because I don't want to show like all the spots available. Because I'd rather book lumped with other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Nothing worse than having somebody book at like 10 o'clock and the next one's not till 12:30 and then another one's not until 3.
That was my last fairy day. I didn't do it smart. And this is why I'm doing it this way now, because I think I had 7 people or something, and they booked literally 8:30 in the morning. The next one was at 11, and it was not a fun day.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. You want to
It's exciting when it's back to back and you're like, okay, you're in, you're done. See you later. Here's the next one. Oh, look at you. I love your hair. And yeah, I love it.
We used to do them. We used to do them 20 minutes apart, and then we're like, last few years, we're like, what the hell were we thinking? Can you imagine doing like 24 in one day?
There's no way. I know my husband's trying because he listens to your things as I'm listening to you, right? And he's like, well, he's booking them like that. How come you can't book more? And I was like, because I want to be able to serve my clients this way. And if I do that, I'm going to burn myself out, and I'm going to drop the ball with somebody.
By the end of the day, you'll pull out your hair so much it'll look like mine.
Yeah.
We do go 30 minutes now. We've realized that 20 was too much, but it worked.
30
it worked.
with 15 in between because of disinfecting and just catching your breath.
Right. So you mentioned that here. Fairy does have all health precautions in place. Are you steaming your dresses still, or
no?
Okay,
if nobody coughs or sneezes in my studio, I'm less stressed now. I'm like, you know what? People get a little cold here and there, and it's allergy season, so I had to get over that. If they're not sick, then I don't panic as much.
Cool. So this booking system is what again?
Studio Cloud.
I have Studio Cloud. I actually have the paid account that we use. It's what we use for our database and everything too. But I've never used it with the calendar. I don't know if I have to go up to the next package to do the calendar. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I have. This is CloudForms, so this is an add-on. I pay $45 a month for it, approximately after conversion, and it's worth it every penny.
That's for everything, or just for the add-on?
That's for everything. The whole thing. I've got access to everything. I have calendar integration with Google, so I can, any booking that happens in there, I can put it automatically goes into my Google Calendar, and then everybody can see that. And then I have, so the cloud forms, they can sign contracts. So when they book a session, it auto-populate. A contract will open up for them to read through. They can sign it. That then gets submitted. I can do their invoicing in there. I can set up automatic. I actually just added this feature on Cloud Alerts, so it'll send a text reminder or an email reminder 3 days prior, so I don't have to physically go in and do it. But to build the systems, I wanted to be doing every single thing manually. Like, okay, these emails have to be sent. I'm going to send them to each individual person, just so I make sure that it's working or whatever. But now I'm handing over the reins to the system a little bit.
Yeah.
I've found the grease. Now I just have to add it in.
That's a good way to say it. Handing it over to the system. I want to show the screen again. I got to ask you another question about something. If I can just find StreamYard. Boom, boom. And this is something we've been doing, and it looks like you're doing ice fairies. You mentioned it earlier.
Yes, I just bought the ring for it. It just got here. I just assembled it. I'm just getting ready to add the wood in there and make it more sturdy and do all the things. I'm excited. I got the backdrop already. That was the first thing that came. And then I have been looking all over for the icicles, and I finally just Amazoned it. I signed up for that Amazon Prime. I was like, I feel like I'm be ordering a lot of things from here. So that's actually where I found, I think, the backdrop. I found the ice crystals that I'm going to be making the crowns out of. I've been collecting dresses just in blue and white. And then I'm not going to add flowers. I don't know what I'm going to add. Snowflakes, maybe. We'll figure it out when we get there, but it's going to be fun.
So this is the different material backdrop. This is from eBay.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty flimsy, but it works. And
I hope so. I haven't tried it yet. I was discouraged. I thought I had the fire holder ring, whatever, but when I got my son-in-law to go out and grab it, he was really harsh with it and broke it, so I had to order a new one. I was like, that's okay. If it's too broken anyway, people can't sit in it.
Yeah. They're like about $80 from the hardware store. It's a log holder for those who are wondering what we're talking about. And it needs to be reinforced with some pieces of wood. We had somebody weld some pieces of steel onto ours. I'm a little paranoid for safety, so.
Perfect. Okay, that's better. Better to be more paranoid, right?
Yeah, and it's pretty straightforward to do the welding and add the wood slots so that when it grows. What was that? Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, it's like a TV or something.
I don't hear anything.
Hold on.
I can hear, like, if you guys have a radio or a TV playing in the background somewhere.
My daughter's playing behind me. Is that what you hear?
No.
Okay.
It's like broadcast.
There it is. Corey and Jamie show. Can you see this? This started playing, and I guess I sort of. Hold on, I'm going to show you guys. Is this? Was this in your town? Where is it? This.
Whose town?
I don't know, your town. This is what started playing. Oh, this is Sudbury. All right. I have no idea what happened. Anyways, I'm going to get rid of that. Sorry about that, guys. A little distraction. But
I'm also going to be doing the medieval. I have actually a list for that one already.
nice.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. But I realized I need a stripper pole or something, so I can find that.
We don't need a stripper pole. We use auto poles. They're Manfrotto.
Photo store, yeah.
And
What's it called?
they're called auto poles. And I bought mine used from another photographer. They're quite expensive. Or you can manufacture something. I use it because it's fast and easy to put our our castle wall on, and we just kind of lean it and lightly brace it.
Yeah, it's usually used by photographers when they want to put sort of like a camera stand. They have a bracket comes on, and they put their camera on it. And it's a sturdy.
Oh.
But yeah, auto pole.
Well, yeah, that, and there's a lot of applications that can be used with it, and it's an expandable telescopic pole. It'll go up to like 14 feet. You push it up to the ceiling, you crank it in place, and it locks in. Then
That sounds amazing.
You could use it for backdrops. You can use it. You put two poles with a cross beam and hang clothes on it, or if you need to create a divider, if you're doing like a fashion show or something, and so they're called auto poles, and that's what you're seeing when you're looking at our medieval sessions. And I don't think it's necessary. The key thing for me is the castle wall is made out of it's insulation.
How did you stick it together?
Glue.
Like, just like what kind of glue? Like white glue or?
I think so.
Okay.
I made that back. That's old. That's 2004.
Wow.
I made that medieval wall and carved. I didn't carve that myself. I had somebody who worked for the local theater carve it. I paid her a couple bucks, and then I just got two 4x8 sheets of insulation, glued them together. She carved it, cut out the wall. I mean, if you're half talented, it's
I'm
not
doing
that
it
hard.
myself. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
totally
it's
doing it myself.
not that hard to do. So kudos to you for getting into medieval too. You're really pushing the themes.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, you're enjoying it. So if you're going to use it mostly for children, I'm just something to think about. You may not want to go full 4x8 feet tall. You might even consider going a little bit smaller.
Yeah, probably because I think I only have 8-foot ceilings. So
Yeah, that might help things along. So,
yeah.
but anyways, yeah. So yeah, exciting. And if you have any other ideas insofar as what's working, what's not working, or new themes, let me know. I'm always looking. To me,
Mermaids. I'm being asked a lot about mermaids.
really,
Yes.
it's
I've never done
never been brought up with me. Although I've tried a few, but
See, she's saying, please do mermaids. I don't know how I would turn my studio into a beach, honestly. I think that would be sounds like a big undertaking, but that's okay. Maybe.
Well, I think for me, the way I see it is you could get a straight up backdrop with shells and the seascape and keep it simple.
Yeah.
Or you can use a gray screen and just pop them in later, which I experimented with a couple of years ago.
I think a part of the experience for everybody is coming into that set. Like people don't expect it. People are expecting green screen when they see my work. I've had people like my husband wants to know if this is green screen. None of it is a green screen. I promise.
Yeah. It's the real deal. It's so important, and it's all part of the all part of the experience. But I just don't know about. I just don't know about mermaids myself. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. To me, the big one, like 80% of it is fairies, the enchanted forest fairies. So
that's my favorite. Yeah, my favorite. And I only want to do the ice fairies once a year. So I'm gonna just do them right now, just to kind of see how they go, because there are people waiting for them. So I'm gonna do one now, and then I won't do another one of those until later on. But however, I do have a private fairy session booked, and they're going to use the fairy set because they're booked at the end of this month. So I'm going to let them use both sets.
Nice. So private, you can give them more option because you have more time, right? They're going to pay a little more.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you charge more for that sitting fee than the $149?
$250 for that one.
So extra $100. I want to show you something here. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. Boom. For those who are wondering what Medieval Day pictures are.
Like, see, those are so amazing.
I have a totally different workflow for ice fairies, for enchanted forest fairies, and for Medieval Day. So this is important. I want these to be darker and more brooding. This is the wall we were talking about. You can actually see a seam right there, and it's just, again, two 4x8 pieces of insulation glued together. And then all of these nooks and crannies were carved out from just using a chisel and knives, like not X-Acto knives, but box cutter knives.
How thick
My dad
is that
was
wall?
incredible. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, how thick is that? Because most of the ones you buy at the store are only like about 2 inches thick. That looks like
it's 2.
5 inches. It's
2, so it's 4 inches.
Oh, I see, and they're just put together.
Yeah, it's 2 glued together, and this rock, I don't. Somebody gave me that rock. I can't remember.
I'm gonna make one.
Pretty easy to do. It's light as a feather.
Well, you made your own mushroom, didn't you?
Yes, I did, and the rocks.
Nice. The
backdrop. Where on earth did you find this backdrop, though?
eBay. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I mean, you weren't really in front of a big castle? I thought you were.
I've been looking, and I just have not been able to find the wording to find it. I found it one time, a long time ago, and then I haven't been able to find it since. You
can see the workflow on this one, and this, not this one, but this is different. This girl does her own dress, so she's into fancy and all that, and so we just use that.
Oh, I love that one. That is amazing. Those are amazing.
These are a little more boudoir-y. So we did the ice mermaids. I was just having fun.
Yeah. That's different, though. That's not quite what I was thinking. But those are lovely.
They're not bad. I felt I could have done a lot better, and I sort of gave up on it. And there's the ring we were talking about earlier. For those of you who are wondering, this is a log holder ring from the hardware store, and ours is hanging. And you got to be really careful the way you brace them into the ceiling. You don't want that thing crashing. So
Yeah, my ceiling is completely open, so I can put it right where it's gonna have perfect stability.
yeah,
Double hooks. We got a plan.
yeah, that's always been a big fear of mine, hurting a kid.
Me
God.
too. Me too. Yeah, can never be too careful.
Did you just find that?
Yeah, I just found that there. It's an enchanted castle.
No, that's nice.
It is, but that's not it.
No, but it's nice though.
Yeah.
Where's that from?
It says Backdrop Express. I don't know where that is.
So how much is it for a 10 by 20?
They have one here, 10 by 8. 10 by 20 is $439.
Wow.
So
That's US or Canadian. I don't know.
Is there one there that's 10 by 10?
Yes. 302.
Okay. See, mine is a 10 by 10. I just put a black muslin on the floor, and it's cheap. It's just cheap plastic, and it's from China, and I bought it on eBay. And I know I paid way less than $100 for it. So
All I did was I went into Google and typed in castle photo backdrop, and all these things started coming up.
Me too.
I'm gonna send you the link later. As soon as we're done, I'll go look for it and try and find it for you. So they might not be available anymore, but I'm gonna go have a look, see, and I'll let you know.
Close.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know the site where I bought it from. Anyways, they might have something very close. No problem. So
I'm excited.
cool. Lots of things going on, and thank you for coming back and sharing your experiences with us. It sounds like it's really working out, and your future looks bright in this area, and you're having a good time.
It is. I'm still in shock every time someone books a session. I'm like, I can't believe how well this is working. Oh my
She's almost
gosh,
like a
this is
totally
amazing.
different person.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's so awesome. I love it so much.
Yeah, and that's the crux of the matter.
Last time to now, she's a totally different person. You wouldn't even know it was the same girl.
Really?
No.
What?
In a good way. Like you could see that you're more the energy and the
more confident. I know what I'm doing this time.
Definitely.
Yeah, I found little things along the way. Like every time that I would find a glitch in my system or whatever, I'd be like saying something to my clients. Oh, thank you so much for helping me grow. You know, like I'm trying to figure this out. Thank you so much. I will fix this. And moving forward, this is what people will get when this happens. And that lady ended up ordering another plaque, actually, just because of customer service. Yeah.
You said something earlier about how there's a viral sort of component to this, and word gets out pretty fast. And it seems to me you're far even from it being doing these you're still like 4 months into it. You're noticing that already, which is something I've always commented on how easy it is to promote these. And when you go to another town and nobody's ever heard of you, it's the same thing. And I noticed that when we started going out of town years ago, we said, I don't know if people are going to know who we are. They don't know who we are. And it's boom, boom. We just book it out solid. So.
Right? It's because it's something that they haven't seen before. Like it's just something that's so different from what they are used to seeing. And when you have the people explaining the experience, you know, behind the images, it's just book right away. Let's book that.
Yeah. So it's got all of these and more working for it. So I'm so glad it's working out for you. So
my fairies are going to be in South Africa next week.
Nice.
Yeah, hanging on walls in South Africa. I've got some hanging on walls in Newfoundland now, and then surrounding towns around here. So that's exciting.
That is. It's growing. So, well, we'll have you back in a year. We're going to wait a little longer this time.
Awesome.
I wanted to get you in. I wanted to get you in now because it's early in the game for you, and you're at that.
Really excited.
Yeah, early phase. So I appreciate it.
Going to become a regular.
Yes, that would be fun. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. So. Okay. Any closing thoughts?
So much.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you. Have a good day, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.